So, as of the 28th of February, 22 songs have been confirmed for Eurovision 2016, and Mikey and I are going to go through our top three and our worst three. We're going to get the bad stuff out the way. So, do you want to kick off with your third least favourite song of Eurovision 2016 so far, Mikey?
Okay. I want to stress though when I say this that yes, this is my third least favourite, but I still like this song. There's only two that I don't like, and I'm not in this. I'm not going to include Malta, Italy, and Albania. Italy and Malta, we haven't had the confirmation to the song, and Albania purely because the song is now in English and it will sound a different song by the time we hear it final.
Yeah, it's being reworked, so we can't really count it.
Yeah, Albania would be in this bottom three, but I know it's going to be a completely different song once we hear the final version, so I'm not going to include that. So my third least favourite is it's going to be Belgium. What's the pressure?
Okay.
When I first heard this, to be honest, I didn't really follow the Belgian final until the day, and when I heard the 5 songs competing, I thought the whole lineup was a bit anonymous. There was nothing in that really stood out, and to be honest, I was quite open to anyone winning. After Laura won, the song did grow on me. I thought this is okay. I can hear like the flurry sax sort of influence in this. I liked it, and I don't really have a problem against this song. It purely just has been every other country has chosen a better song. I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's a very simple and very fun song. I don't think she has much of a chance to get out of the semi-final. I literally can't say a bad word. I like the song. I just prefer all the rest pretty much. It is fun, it's catchy, and I'm sure she'll do a great performance in May. But the song, it doesn't have a real conclusion. It just doesn't have anything to hook you into it. It's just pleasant for its 3 minutes, and it just kind of stays that way all the way through. There's no up, there's no down. It's just that steady pace. So for that, I have to give it my third least favourite.
I get where you're coming from. I mean, it's a very cute song. That's what I've sort of used. Like, she's very cute in all this, but at the same time, cute and nice doesn't work. No, that's a bad word when it comes to performing.
They tried it with Iris in 2012. That didn't work.
Nice. You don't want to come back and hear your song is nice. That means there's nothing to grab you. It's like, cool. As soon as it was announced, I said this would be a borderline, but then that semi-final has become very competitive. Like, the good songs are really good, so it is a borderline. I can't say it will or won't qualify. I like the song like you, but like it's a bit meh. But it's not my third least favourite. Mine has to go to one that was decided last night, Slovenia, with Manuela and Red and Blue. This is just, it's bad. It's dated country for me. I don't like it. The lyrics are pretty naff. Red is red and blue is blue. It's a bit like thank you, Captain Obvious. The outfit change is a bit weird, and it's a worse outfit. And going on last night, some of her vocals weren't great. I mean, the Slovenian national final was a car crash. Like, none of the songs I remember. Like, none of them. And it stuns me. I mean, I know we shouldn't hark back to previous years, but Slovenia have always been good at standing out one way or another.
Agreed.
Be it good or bad. In the last 2 years, they've got it right, I think. Even Tim Carla, even though everyone hated it, I loved it. So I'm a sucker for classical music and a flute. And, I loved that, and I loved how she looked on stage. And obviously with Maria, I loved that as well. It was one of my favourites last year. But this is a massive step down for Slovenia, and I don't see it advancing whatsoever. So I'm disappointed. But it's more to do with the fact, like, her vocals to me just aren't good, and it's just too dated. Like, it's just too typical old country, and country's moved on.
Okay.
You're gonna shoot me down now, aren't you?
I've actually only heard the song once. I didn't follow the national final at all. I knew Nusa Dorenda was competing, but I didn't care to listen to the song. I just waited until the result and then heard what they picked. I've actually ranked this out of 22. This is currently my 13th favourite. It's an okay song. I don't really remember it, to be honest. I see in this song is potential, because a lot of the time, I know they didn't last year, most of the time Slovenia, it does work on its song. Once they got the song they go into the contest with, they take it away, they pump a bit of production, a bit of money into it, and it does come out as a better song. The song 2 years ago, wasn't a big fan, but once they worked it, that was one of my favorites come the contest. It was fantastic come, when we got to Copenhagen. No One 2011. Once they worked on that, put it into English and put a bit of production into it, it was fantastic. So I kind of want to hold off having a real judgment of this song purely because I think Slovenia will work on this and they will tweak it. And at the moment, I think it's an okay song. So I think come May, this probably for me will be a pretty good song. Once they've worked on it, once they've made it a bit bigger, a bit more memorable. But yeah, instantly it hasn't, it's not ringing bells. This isn't, this is definitely going to the final. I'm loving Slovenia this year. This for me is very mid-table at the moment. As it stands, the song alone at the moment, no, I don't see it going to the final. But like I said, I'm sure Slovenia will pump a lot of production to the song before the contest in May. Like I said with Albania, I don't want to make too much of a judgment on this song purely because you can't base its chances on what we've heard at the moment. So I'm going to hold off on my judgment for Slovenia for now. But at the moment, it's very neutral. I don't love the song. I don't dislike the song.
So what have you put in your bottom two? I can imagine what they are, but just entertain us, Mikey. What is if you have to split them?
My second least favourite has to go to Belarus, Help You Fly. I didn't really follow the Belarusian final. I did listen to a recap of it before the actual final, and there was one song in the final that did quite... I can't remember what it was called. I think it was Run Into the Sun or something on those lines.
Yeah, Kirill, John, I can't remember his name, Yolenkov or something like that, Run Into the Sun. Yeah, the more upbeat song.
Yeah, and I thought, this would be a really good choice for Belarus, and I was really hoping they'd go with that. Once they picked this song, and again, I didn't know it, I thought, okay, let's have a good listen to it. To be honest, my instant impression was, okay, this isn't as bad as it could have been. Belarus has delivered a lot worse than this. Belarus, a lot of the time, does do a revamp, so I'm hoping this will sound a little better come May. Right now, though, now that we have over half the songs, when we had this, I think we only had about 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah, it's one of the first announced.
We have half the songs now. And comparing this to the rest of the lineup, it's just dreadful. The presentation of the song is awful. He, as a performer, has no charisma. His hair is horrific. There's just nothing in this song that is really that appealing. I mean, the chorus I remember really well, but the verses are just so flat, and I can't ever remember how the verses go. I just know that little burst in the chorus. In terms of his chances in May, I'm not going to write it off just yet. The only times that Belarus have ever made it to the final at Eurovision is when it was in Scandinavia. There has never been a year, Helsinki 2007, Oslo 2009, Malmö 2013. So I'm not going to write its chances off yet. But for now, I wouldn't say I can't stand the song. I just couldn't listen to it for 3 minutes, which probably equates to the exact same thing.
Yeah. Well, I have to agree, Belarus is my second least favourite, and going to say, he has no charisma, in the verses, when you're saying about, you remember the chorus, I was trying to remember the verses, and I could not remember a thing. I mean, he sounds lazy in his voice more than anything, and yeah, I mean, the LED screens behind him is interesting, that's the best part, which says a lot about the song. I was supporting Run Into the Sun because it sounded like it was made for Eurovision and it was ready for Eurovision, and now we know what the stage looks like. You can just imagine how good that would look on a bigger stage.
It's such a shame.
It's a massive shame. So yeah, I have really little hope with this, despite their success in Scandinavia. I don't give this much hope. To be honest, I don't see it doing well. And as bad as that sounds, because last year I loved Time, it was my favourite song. I loved it so much. This is a step back, a massive one, and they've only really got Georgia to help them out. If we're going on favour wise, and with the new voting system, that's kind of null and void in a sense, unless you've got 4 or 5 nations to back you up. So
I do think Belarus is at a very big disadvantage to this new voting system. So
yeah.
We're probably more bordering on a non-qualifier than a potential qualifier, but
yeah.
The one thing that I've learned in 10 years of Eurovision is be ready for a surprise.
Oh god, yeah.
Never write anything off. Anything can happen in this competition.
I learned that the hard way last year in the second semi-final, when 3 of my favourites got eliminated over 3 I could not stand. So, what is your worst song of Eurovision 2016 so far?
I don't think this is going to be a shock, and I think pretty much any normal person has also put this at the bottom of their list. It is Georgia with Midnight Gold.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. To be honest, when I heard that this band was representing Georgia, I was actually quite excited. I thought, oh, we're going to get a bit of a rock song. I'm very open to rock. I'm not just solely pop when it comes to Eurovision. And then they released 5 songs that could potentially go. And I listened to a recap and I was like, what the hell is all this? And I thought, okay, whatever they send is going to be awful. But then once they made the decision, I thought, right, I'm going to sit and listen to this for 3 minutes. I couldn't. I literally couldn't physically do it. The song, it just doesn't do anything. I don't know what the chorus is. It's one big mess. I would be stunned if this didn't finish last in its semi-final. I cannot see who the hell is going to vote for this. It's by far one of the worst songs to take part in the last 10 years. Even songs I've disliked, they've had a melodic value. They've had something that you can give it that to say, okay, you at least have that. This has nothing. They have no charisma. The song is awful. It has no hook. I can't tell what the choruses or the verses are. I'm so frustrated, especially that Georgia was one of my favourites last year. And I can't understand how they could have gone from sending such a big epic song like Warrior to this. I don't understand how you do that, to be honest. I can't even wish Georgia all the best of luck because I'm just offended. I'm offended that this is taking part. And if this doesn't finish last in its semi-final, then I even take that as an insult.
I am totally with you there. Georgia, this is the worst song, hands down. I've been following Eurovision, I wouldn't say religiously, but more so since 2009. That's where I would start myself at. And this is one of the worst songs that I can remember. Even bad songs, like you said, at least they have had some sort of entertainment value. Even if it's a joke act. I mean, Dustin and the Turkey, that was a dreadful song, but it was fun.
I genuinely didn't think there could have been a song worse than the Finnish entry to last year. I obviously never thought you could top up that this is it's in a league of its own. At least they were entertaining, you know, and you at least gave them some sort of value, but there's nothing you can credit these guys on whatsoever.
That was more, you can say, it stood out. It stood out at least.
It stood out.
This is not going to stand out. All of us at the Euro trip cannot say a positive thing about this song. It's a song. That's literally as far as you can get. It's a song in a song contest. There's nothing memorable. They look miserable. It's a waste of 3 minutes. And, this might sound harsh, but it's true. It's just awful. And I don't get... Georgia have had some very good songs, especially rock and that sort of genre. El Dream, the 2011 rock song, amazing. Nina Sablati, you could probably say in that sort of area, a bit dark and black, brilliant. And then this. Oh, like I said, I'm not against any style in Eurovision as long as I can do it well. I will not say, oh, it's a rap song, I'm instantly going to hate this until I hear it. I need to give a song a chance.
Agreed.
And I gave the song a chance. And I did watch the national selection, and I did listen through it. And then when it finished, I just kind of went, is that it? It just kind of stopped.
You always wait for something to happen, but just nothing happened. And
I'm dreading, the 12th of May, when this is going to perform, I see the little icon flash up that it's Georgia next. I am going to dread this. I don't know. I might have to go and make a cup of tea. I don't drink tea, but it just gets me out the room, so I don't listen to it.
The thing that this doesn't have is the value of what a joke entry is.
Yeah.
A joke entry brings some form of entertainment and it will get votes for being a joke entry, but this isn't even really a joke entry. This is just
nothing.
A
serious entrant. That's the thing, it sounds serious. Georgia 2012, we knew that was a joke act. We knew he was a joke act. And even the title, I'm a Joker, nothing on that stage was serious.
It was still fun though.
Yeah, you still remember it. I still remember the woman with the bright red hair with the high ponytail on the outfit, him with his bright blonde hair. This is just... I have to actually agree, I have to say this is worse than PKM. And I never thought I'd say that. Because that was atrocious last year. But at least that was memorable. At least when someone says, oh, who's PKM, you can say they're the loud, heavy metal rock track. This is... don't even know. I don't understand what they're saying, and they're speaking in English. How
Yeah.
do you do that? Like, how do you use a universal language, which we live in England and we can't understand what you're saying? Like,
Says it all, really.
Nina Sublati had bad English, but this, at least you could hear her.
Yeah.
This is just, it's awful, absolutely awful, and I can't see anything being worse than this, considering we know the majority of the national final songs, and
I agree.
even the songs we don't know, they're not going to be bad. Like, Russia don't send a bad song, Australia aren't going to send a bad song, Armenia is probably going to be half decent. Even Croatia, they're maybe not great songs, but they're half decent songs. So Georgia, this is finishing bottom.